back to my channel, my subscribers, and welcome on into my new viewers and subscribers. Okay, so let's get straight into this video. Truth be told, they cannot be stopped. Wait, before you click off this video, they cannot be stopped. But what about you? If you are new to this channel and this is the first time you're hearing about forever_Sasha, and if it's the first time you're watching one of my videos, I suggest you watch the video before this one, which is entitled How to Spot a Domestic Abuser. You see guys, the thing with domestic abuse is this, okay? There are usually at least two people involved in the situation. Now, if you are the victim and the perp is unstoppable, because they are, you can't stop them no matter what you do, no matter if they've been arrested, been taken to the courthouse or whatever. That's just who they are, because someone doesn't wake up and say, okay, I'm going to be a domestic abuser. I just feel like it takes some different kind of dedication to be that. So if you first decide to be violent to the person you're in a relationship with, it's going to take a whole lot for you to change. This is partly why I say they cannot be stopped, but this really isn't about them. It's more about you, the victim or the survivor of domestic abuse. It all starts and ends with you. I'm not saying that you are the bad guy or you are to be blamed, because hey, if person A is provoking person B and person B decide that they want to be a monster to person A continuously over and over again, you know where I'm going with this, okay? But you are in charge of you. You know what your life means to you. If a relationship is getting too much to handle, it's too violent, leave. Okay, Sasha, you say leave as if it's an easy thing to do. It's not that easy. Okay, that's true. It might not be easy, but you do know that you need to leave, right? Victims are not as powerless as people or police or whatever kind of agency or authority try to portray them as. Victims are actually quite powerful, and I actually hate that term victim, because if I've been through something, I'm more like to lean towards the survivor side of things. If you decide to walk away from this relationship, this person will not have a punching bag anymore. Well, at least not in the form of you. And if they get with somebody else and they try the same thing and they keep doing the same thing and decide to move on, they'll have to find somebody else. They keep going, they keep going, they keep going. We just all need to know when to come out of a relationship. When a relationship isn't fulfilling anymore, whether that be in the sense of that they are emotionally abusing you physically, mentally, financially, any type of way, making you feel like you are less of a person, it's time for you to go. Why do we tend to stay in relationships after we can see that this person doesn't respect us? This person doesn't care for us like we care for them? Because if a domestic situation happened and you call the police turn up, chances are the victim of domestic violence will actually pull back off the report. They will change their mind. They won't go to court. They won't take it any further. Why do we do that? Because we care more about the perp than ourselves. To stop a domestic abuser, you have to stop yourself. Stop yourself from falling into the trap of forgiving such a person. If they could not forgive you of your errors or whatever you did to make them upset, then they simply do not deserve your forgiveness. When this person decides to abuse you, kick you down the stairs, punch you in the chest, break your ribs, stab you in the leg, put out his cigarette in your face, when he decides to do all of these things to you, which man are you going to try and attract after your relationship ends? This is the thing. This is the kind of situation that we push ourselves into. We boxed ourselves in. We force ourselves to stay with this person because we're like, nobody's going to want me now because I've got all these flaws, these imperfections. He's now made me like, I've got all these scars. I'm emotionally scarred. I'm physically scarred. Like, who's going to want me? So stop it before it's too late. Here's the thing with domestic abuse. It's all about control. It's all about seeing how much you can get away with. You might start with a little slap across the face and then you go, oh, laugh it off. Or you might say, oh, sorry. And then you're like, okay, it's fine. You're too quick to say it's fine. You know, you reprimand that person or you leave that person. The least you should do is reprimand that person. The next time you so much as even let your fingertips touch my body without it being in a romantic way, there's going to be consequences. But as victims, we tend to be so quick to forgive and to say, you know what, maybe it was partly my fault. It's not partly your fault. Okay, it's partly your fault when you decide to accept that it's partly your fault. Anyone who's suffering or going through domestic abuse, I just want to let you know that you are not alone. There are millions of people who are going through the same thing. Okay, Sasha, there are millions of people who are going through the same thing. So why are you trying to tell me to basically step out of it? I'm telling everyone to step out of it. I'm letting you know that you might think Jane is too good. Jane is too perfect. I can't confide in Jane and tell her what's going on with me and my husband or my boo or my girlfriend or my wife, because she might think I'm a laughing stock. She might just call the police on my man, and I don't want him to go to prison. One of the tips I didn't get to mention in my last video, abuse, is that a domestic abuser tend to be quite charming as well. You know, you'll really find a domestic abuser who isn't quick on the lips, who isn't quick to swivel something around, say sorry, and say all the sweet nothings in your ear to make you feel like the person you wanted to feel like all along. And of course, after you've been beaten down, torn down, dragged down, manipulated, called all sorts of names, and this same person who would called you all that name come back to you to say how beautiful you are, how wonderful you are, how this, how that, you're glad for those words, right? So you're quick to forgive that person. But for how long? Because the next moment they come to do the same thing, you don't know what's going to happen. You can stop a domestic abuser by stopping yourself. You can stop a domestic abuser by stop forgiving them. You can stop a domestic abuser by stop lying for them. You can stop a domestic abuser by start looking out for yourself. Because guess what, honey? You are all you've got. When shit hits the fan and you're laying down there on the floor curled up because he just hurt you, it's you who is in pain. You can stop domestic violence by doing the right thing for you. I know a lot of women are going through domestic violence, and men as well. I'm going to speak more for the women because I think I only heard of 2 men that I know that has spoke to me about them being victims of domestic abuse. And I don't look down on them. I know why a lot of men don't want to admit to that. I get that. I do understand it. But I can totally understand it. But also, I know that women can be just as bad as men. We just don't hear about it as much. Because you have some men that just are real gentlemen. They just won't hit a woman back. And some of them just go in and they do what they want to do and abuse these men. You have a lot of women who are in relationships with men that they have children with, and they feel as though the man has done me wrong, but I can't leave him because I have children with him, or I have a child with him. I don't want to be a single mom. It doesn't look good on me. I don't want to be a single mom because I don't want to have to explain to my children as to why daddy's not home. I don't want to do the hard work. But guess what? Being a parent isn't supposed to be easy. Okay, don't take the easy way out, because the easy way out can actually make your children's life even harder. You are essentially telling them that it's okay to stay with somebody who is abusing you, but then coming back to you the next minute and saying I love you. That is not healthy. That is toxic. That is not the love that you want your children to know about. I'm not gonna lie, it gets on my nerves, and I get pretty annoyed at people who use that as an excuse. Oh, I got children with him, I can't do this, I can't. What you need to do, the only person you owe something is your children, not even yourself. They rely on you as a mother to look out for them, and you are the next sane and sensible parent. You are the next parent who cares about these children. So you have to take control and say, hey, enough is enough. This is where we draw the line. That's that. Children can still see their dad or their mom. You know, just because a partner is abusive to the other partner, it doesn't mean that they're actually a bad parent. But where they might become a bad parent is if you stay in that toxic relationship, you fight, you argue and do the most in front of these children. That's when you might become a bad parent, or you might both end up having the title of being a bad parent. It's okay to walk away from a relationship. People need to stop being afraid of walking away from a relationship when they're being abused, because hey, when you get put down in the hospital or 6 feet under, guess what? You can't walk away, and you're gonna be in your grave turning and wishing you did walk away. Like my last video, guys, I really wanted this one to be short and sweet and to the point. Or maybe not sweet, I don't know. But I just wanted to say what I wanted to say and not make it too long. So I guess I will see you guys in my next video, and I doubt that it will be this serious, but I feel like I need to take the time out to talk about this topic. Bye.